show that page. But that page isn't important.
Oh no! Hurry! One thing I almost forgot. I'm a horrible person. No, I just have to add something that I forgot to do for my character.
Okay, I still have to read your guys' character backstories, and I will probably end up sending you guys some contacts after I read them of people you know, and I might update other people's stuff with stuff. But anyways, we're live. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group 3, version 2.0. Rolling with a full party for the first time in forever.
3.14.
Yes, this is group 3.14, and now I will leave the group. I'm done. DM yourselves. But no, we have tonight some new players joining group 3, some old players joining group 3, and some old players returning from group 3. We have Sam controlling Arabella, Allison controlling Eve, and that is the end of the old faces. As far as old faces, we have Wesley controlling a new character named Hogan. And he will have a chance to introduce himself later. We have Eric joining us tonight. He is controlling a character named Zymor. I'll give him a chance to introduce himself later. And we have a new face. His name is JJ, and he is controlling the character Carter. So before we get started with the session, I'm gonna let Wesley, in this order, actually, let's be polite and let the new player go first.
Let Wesley.
Okay, never mind. We'll give it up to Wesley. Just give us a description of what Hogan, I've almost forgot his name, I had to think about it. What Hogan looks like, what he does for a living, and just like a teeny tiny bit about him.
I literally can't make the name any easier.
How about just Ho? I'm kidding.
I will wreck all 3 of your campaigns.
2 down.
1 to go. So Hogan, is a half orc, because I love playing those. He's about 5'10" or so a little under 6 feet. He's not a pretty fellow, even by half orc standards. He's actually kind of fug ugly, but he walks with a very satisfied kind of peaceful look on his face, which tells you he's got, only 2 brain cells to rub together, no more than that. He's got a suit of weather-worn, nicked, dinged, scratched up plate armor, and over one shoulder he's got a great axe. It kind of looks like it's a big old modified double-bladed axe that used to be maybe it was a wood axe for a large creature, but it's been modified. It's got a big notch on one end, but still looks pretty gnarly. He is a devotee of the that would be a devotee of Darenthal, isn't that right?
Yes, Darenthal. That is the religion.
Okay. He's a very simple fella. He's taken it upon himself as he travels, to keep the roadways safe for commerce and young passersby.
All right. And who is he friends with?
Would that be... what was it? Was it Carter?
It was Carter.
It was Carter. So yeah, man of few words and slurred speech.
Alright, and he is traveling with a merchant by the name of Carter. And that's where we're going to jump over to JJ and let you just tell us a little bit about him.
So, Carter Banecollar, a short, very short dwarf. On the older side as well. You can start to see the gray coming into his beard and hair. He carries a maul, normal. It's actually a lot bigger than he is, and he uses it as a cane at this point to walk around. But he's still he's as good as he once was, as he ever will be. He got into the smuggling, kind of the darker side of merchants, of being a merchant, if that's what you want to call it. He takes on any type of job, from smuggling to keeping people quiet if they for things they don't need to be talking about. That's really just about it.
Alrighty, and Carter is in the things that Carter has been dealing with. He has been helping out the Tolls family. He actually just received a contract as he was traveling northwards to escort some members from Somar Villa into the capital. Currently, Carter's caravan is swarmed with people as he is escorting a group of foreigners to meet with the noble who was supposed to be running the Somar Villa aspect of the Tolls operation, and instead she has been gone from her posts. And so these group of people have been looking for her, and they are dressed in foreign colors, which at the start of the session I will allow Carter a history check to try and make out what they are. He is well traveled, so he'd generally be able to get it like on a 2 or 3. But with that said, we're going to jump over to Zymor, who is also looking for this noble and her bard, who he's heard a little bit about. So, Eric, can you give us a quick description of Zymor?
Zymor is a human male, relatively young, in his early 20s, blonde hair, green eyes. Due to his magical nature, he's a warlock. His childhood and his early life were kind of a really dark place, but he believes he's in a better place now. His mentor who taught him how to control his abilities and taught him alchemy and everything had recently passed away, which is why he set out into the world to find his own place. He heard a story about an Elborn, or Azamar as most people know them, named Eve, who stood up for a bunch of Terrai, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Orphans, and having never met an Owlborn or heard of anyone who would put their neck out for a Terrai, he kind of made it his goal to find this person and maybe see what they're all about. So that's kind of why he's traveling that direction.
Right.
He can have a bit of a dark streak if you piss him off, but for the most part, he keeps himself very calm, like he doesn't get super emotional about a lot of stuff.
Alright, and then Eve is currently traveling with Arabella. Arabella's had some life revelations. Sam, do you want to just describe Arabella briefly to us?
So Arabella is also an Allelborn. She's kind of probably the shiniest person that you'll ever see. She is very big on being flamboyant, and she wants to be the center of attention all the time. She's from the family that's kind of like the mafia, but she doesn't really like the things that they do or the way they go about their business. So her goal in life is to kind of be the exact opposite of them, trying to just seek justice for everybody.
All right, and finally, that leads us to the Humpstick. Eve. Eve is the only unchanged character in the story, but still, did you want to describe her to us?
More than I did. Oh, well, we weren't live earlier.
You can be as short or as long as you want. If you go past 5 minutes, I'm going to cut you off.
Oh, darn.
I might cut you off at 3. Just saying.
No, I guess I'll say, long story short, she just has a very strong sense of right, though that sense of right may not always go with what the law says. And she's a bard entertainer, and she travels like playing and stuff like that, and she truly enjoys it. But she tries to help people out wherever she goes as well. And
that's good enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, I think that's it. I'm trying to, am I forgetting something?
I don't actually remember Eve's hair color. Is it black?
No, it's like a white lavender.
Okay, cool. I just needed to mark that for my notes.
Yeah, think of like the color potassium burns.
Okay. Ooh, that's kind of cool. All right. So
I have to look that up now.
I'm gonna give us an update since it's been a while since this playgroup played. When we last left off Group 2, it was the night of the 32nd of Father, going into the morning
Group 3.
Oh, yeah, wow. I don't even know what group this is anymore. This is actually Group 3, version 2.0. When we last left them off, though, it was the 32nd of Father going into the 33rd of Father, which is the end of the year, getting near some major holidays. On the night of the 32nd, the guiding star Ililius appeared in the sky over the city. Well, it appears over everyone. Anyone who looks up sees it directly overhead, no matter where you're at in the world. And the guiding star Ililius appeared. However, none of the members seemed too interested in investigating what was going on with it. That being said, the next morning, the group got up and reconvened at the orphanage that they had been staking out, looking for the other Tolls member who's been missing. He was spotted, and he seemed to have ran off with a wizard. Their shenanigans to be told later. Otherwise, though, before we get started, I want to remind you guys of some quests you have active. And by have active, had active. I don't think Tobias told anybody about his conversation with Lady Nakart.
He did not.
However, you guys would know Lady Nakart sent you here for reasons. Those reasons are unknown to you. You guys could try contacting her back. Eve is also in debt to a Illuminati shadow organization known as the Silver Sigil. She owes them one task that she has to complete as they did a favor for her. Lord Kraylor is in the city. Arabella was looking for him. I don't know how much she wants to still go after him. And the cult, the Heart of Embers, is still growing. It is slowly becoming more and more of a problem.
At the end of...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Britta. No, I was just going to say, remember at the end of last session, we talked to the lady who owns the madam of the whorehouse, and we got information on where to go find them, and that's where Arabella and Eve was headed off to?
Yes, you did. I believe you guys were sharing that with the rest of the party.
Well, the rest of the party's no longer here.
Yeah.
Because, so, it really was just me and Eve.
Yeah. Well, there was Akval, but, yeah. Anyways, yeah, you remember that name I gave you?
Oh,
I have it written down. I'm just seeing if you wrote it down.
I did, but I'm gonna have to go look in my Google Drive. Hold on.
Okay.
Can't be testing people.
When it becomes relevant, well, if your character forgot it, your character forgot it. It's been a long couple days, man. I will also, if it becomes relevant, allow you an intelligence check with a DC to try and remember it. If your character succeeds, obviously I'd give it to you.
Okay.
Otherwise, we are going to pick up at the orphanage. Where the orphanage sits, where the orphanage sits, there is it sits on Somia's Bridge, which is on the south side of town. The way the capital is set up, if you minus all the sci-fi parts of this picture, it's built on a the capital is built between two rivers, and there we go, just delete all that. The capital is built between two rivers, and they're outer spheres of the town and their inner districts of it. And there are many bridges going across these rivers and bays that that separate the different districts of the town. Somia's Bridge leads from the outer section of Artaserai into the inner district, towards the Palace District, but not quite. It is in the city proper. This is a pretty essential bridge that most people cross, coming in from the east of town, or I'm sorry, coming in from the west of town or the south of town. And they cross this bridge heading towards the city proper. And sitting on the other side of this bridge, there is a orphanage known as the Listener's Pond. Sometimes travelers will stop here and share information. Sometimes they'll donate things. But our story is going to start there. Arabella would... well, first of all, we'll start with Carter and... we'll start with Carter and Hogan, who are headed on this bridge into town. You are with a caravan of Alil Nigelians. In total, there are 8 of them. 5 of them are in service to the church. 3 of them are in a faction called the Risen. They asked you to escort them to the city, so they could find the tolls that you are actually looking for. As you guys are rolling across this bridge, you come across the orphanage, which is a small wooden building that is just overshadowed by the keeps and the palace in this district. You see several people outside this orphanage, mostly just keeping watch. I'd say the most prominent thing that you probably see is two rather attractive women having an argument with a half-orc before the half-orc finally storms off. And the half-orc's in chainmail and wearing holy symbols. As you guys are pulling across this bridge, the woman who you were escorting would point in that direction from the carriage to Carter and say, "Oh, I don't know if your services are required any further." That could be her.
Well, go over and find out.
The carriage is going to start. The carriage is going to stop, and the members are going to start unloading out of it. We're going to flip scenes from there. And I would say we'd probably go to Zymor. You think he would be posted up here, looking for Evelyn, or would he have been staying someplace else looking for her?
I'm muted.
Yeah, I was like, it's not like Eric to stay quiet for more than a few seconds.
So that's a good question. Where the village that we said I was from, was that this place?
The Listener's Pond is the orphanage you grew up in.
And that's the one that they're at.
Yes. The new matron, who's been in charge of it, has been very good at keeping her ear to the ground. She is known for just being very informed about what's happening in the city.
Yeah, I mean, it would make the most logical place for him to start his search, considering what he heard. So, you know, her helping the Zerai orphans and all that. So, like, if he's going to try and find someone that knows nothing else about them, he might hang out at the orphanage for a while trying to locate them. And also kind of, you know, go back to where he was raised and see what it's doing. So most likely he would have been headed to the orphanage.
Okay.
Whether that brings him on this road or not, I wouldn't know.
Oh, no. I just forgot JJ's character's name for a second.
Lord.
Mm-hmm. I'm sending you a message real quick, JJ, and then we're going to continue.
Alright.
Alright. We are... Alright. Yeah, so, Zymor would be approaching this orphanage too, and would see this scene of these two women arguing with the half-orc before the half-orc finally storms off in anger. And there is also a caravan of foreigners approaching this orphanage too. Perhaps if you're looking for your person, you might have just found her.
Okay.
And I think everybody would be kind of converging right here around the same point.
Yeah, I would probably... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Arabella, the first thing you would notice, of course, would be Adria in the distance, unloading from the carriage with 3 other younger members of the Risen, or 2 other younger members of the Risen, and her 5 bodyguards.
Mm-hmm. And where like, are the person that I'm looking for is with that group, or is just in the area?
The person you're looking for is is one of the 2 women that were arguing with the half-orc that just stormed off. The party seems to be converging on them.
Okay. Well, I would head over in the same direction, but like not get in anybody's way and just kind of like observe for a while to see what's going on.
And Arabella would approach. Her name just slipped my mind, Brandon.
Adria?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Of course, as you approach them, the Risen take their stance. Each Purane? They do a gracious bow towards you.
Arabella will return it.
And Adria would say, I thought I was welcomed at your manor anytime.
You are welcome at my manor anytime. I'm just not there right now.
And she's gonna say, and squeezing out of your squire, or not your squire, my bad, your steward, where you left off to was not an easy task.
Yeah, he is pretty loyal.
She says, and, well, regardless, I have come to inform you. I sent word to the seated in charge of my school of purity.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're gonna see a look of reluctance just kind of wash across her face and say, against the better judgment of her peers, she has accepted you.
As one of the Risen?
Adria nods.
So what does that mean now?
She begins counting on her fingers and says, well, first, you will need to learn of our ways. Secondly, you would have to abandon your family title. If you do not make it through our ranks, though, you can always leave the Risen and reclaim it. That is between you and your family. Third, you would have to eventually go to Ilil Nagai, and train amongst our ranks.
Do I have a little bit of time to make a decision?
Adria's going to look up at the city and say, well, it is near one of your holy holidays, and I still have much work to do in the city. Lots of preaching to the poor and unfortunate here. I suppose we can wait till the end of the year. A decision like this shouldn't be rushed.
I agree. Where would you like to meet once I've made my decision?
She's going to just kind of grimace and say, this place isn't very accepting of the wills. I will be staying with the I will be staying in the embassy provided by the Immigration Council.
Well, I will seek you there.
She nods and says, this time don't keep me waiting.
Arabella smiles and nods, and then she says, do you need an escort?
She gestures to Carter at the carriage, and Hogan, and says, your steward was polite enough to provide two. Otherwise, the members of the Sunyeth are able to take it from here. They just did not know the roads as well as these two countrymen.
Arabella will nod and just say that I will be in town somewhere if you need me.
Alright. Arabella, go ahead and roll me a wisdom check. DC 7.
Okay. So I only have to roll a 3.
Alright, so, Wesley and JJ, for Carter and Hogan, would they be wearing their helmets or helms at all?
Yes. He would be
I don't have a helmet or helm. I am just in robes.
Yeah, Carter would be this terribly short man, plumped up on, or rather, I guess he'd be digging through the carriage at this point. You've never seen an Ardorian like him. Countryman is a very questionable term used on these people.
I think Arabella, if they're not very attractive, she's kind of just going to give them a once-over and continue what she's doing.
Alright, do they have any business to share with her?
Hogan's gonna turn to the car and is like, whoa, what are we doing now?
Well, to my knowledge, we were just supposed to help protect them in finding this person, but apparently we have more work to do.
What work?
Apparently we're escorting these people to wherever the hell they're staying. I don't know.
That's alright, but I don't know where I am no more. Not so much. I don't recognize this place too well.
I'm not too familiar with this area myself.
Well, maybe we need to hire some people to take us around in, because we're not really going to be able to do our jobs if we can't, what was the word you used? Escort people.
Why hire other people when we could just pretend like we know what we're doing?
That's alright. That's all I said is.
Hear this?
I was gonna say they're not whispering.
I think Carter would probably be quiet, but she'd be able probably to hear Hogan pretty loudly. Would Hogan?
That's alright. That's all I said is.
We're at the orphanage, right? Like outside of it.
Yes. Would Hogan be trying to be discreet about this?
No. He can't say discreet, much less.
It's a 3-syllable word. He has trouble.
I love it.
Arabella would speak up and just say, "I will be happy to see you where you need to go."
Oh, who's talking?
No, we're fine. We know what we're doing.
Allow me.
Obviously, you don't.
You don't need to be sneaking up on people. You scared me.
I don't know how I scared you. I'm not very scary.
You just pop out of nowhere as one of them ghosts. I don't like ghosts.
I've been standing here the whole time. I was here when you arrived.
Oh. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna get something to eat. It's confusing place, confusing people. Ugh.
Arabella's gonna pull her water skin from her side and hand it.
I've got. It's not water. Something better than water. He's got this keg over his shoulder that's kind of hanging off one hip. That's not a water jug. That's a water jug.
Arabella's gonna choke on and turn to Carter and say, "Can I assist you and get where you're going? I would hate for something to happen to Lady Adria when she's in town."
You don't even know where he's going.
Adria is already going to be walking away, as she had 5 foreign guards of her own with her that she was referring to, and just clearly the 2 misheard her. In total, there were 3 risen on the carriage.
And 5 guards.
And 5 guards. All members of the Sun Yith.
Was I correct? Is Arabella also an LL born?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I have no way of knowing which one of them.
There's one of them shiniest good ones. It is.
I was gonna say they look different.
Completely different.
Yeah, like her character doesn't look like mine at all.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what either of you.
But I don't know either of them look like. I've only heard the story about what happened. I didn't get a photograph attached to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I guess Zymor at this point, now that the official business seems to be on its way, would kind of like walk up to Arabella and ask her like, "Would your name happen to be Eve?" Except he doesn't say anything. You just hear that in your head.
Arabella will kind of grimace and look at him and point over her shoulder at Eve and go, "Nope, that's Eve." But
yes,
say it aloud.
And noticing the grimaces, I apologize. I forget people aren't used to that around here.
Ain't nobody used to that around here.
You don't know what happened. What you talking about?
He's doing that thing where he says stuff when he don't move his mouth.
But you didn't hear it. It wasn't in your head.
I could tell.
Okay.
I see it on your face.
Well, thank you. And he would start heading over to Eve to try and introduce himself.
Eve would look at him quizzically, but smile brightly as he gets closer.
Hi, my name is Zymor. I've actually been kind of looking for you. I heard a story that put your neck out for some people that most would just look the other way. As a former orphan myself, I just wanted to express my gratitude that there are people out there that care.
Eve would kind of look taken aback and surprised, like, wait, You heard of me? How did you hear of me?
Well, I heard, you know, of that you were detained for helping out some afflicted children.
Evil kind of like laugh a little and smile, saying, "I can't believe that actually. I wonder who told that." And like her mind is gonna kind of rabbit trail off towards that.
Yeah.
And then she'll come back to me and say, or come back to you and say, "So why have you been looking for me?"
Mainly for my own curiosity. I've never met an Ilderon before, and especially never met anyone that would stick their neck out for a Zerai either. Seemed like a puzzle that I just wanted to get to know.
Eve would smile even wider and hold her hand out in front of her and say, "Well, it's nice to meet you then."
Likewise, and he'll shake your hand and go, "I was actually raised here," and he gesture to the orphanage.
Oh wow. It's amazing how life seems to come full circle sometimes.
Yeah, I could say that. Well, anyway, what brings you to town?
Evil gesture back towards Arabella and say, "I'm helping her with some things."
Well, I have nothing to do. Would you be cross if I joined along?
Arabella would speak up and say, "Are you opposed to hunting down people who like to set things on fire?"
I'm not opposed to that, no. I can do a little bit myself. And he kind of like waves his hand and a bunch of sparks appear in the air above his hand.
Prestidigitation.
That's right, boy! He doesn't say that. That was me being silly.
That'd be hilarious if he just yelled that out of nowhere.
All right. So, you guys are in the city. It is currently 2 days before the wake of Earth, and that is the holiday celebrating when the third ascended, who was a mortal hero, died and ascended to godhood. And his name was Valrear. The city is kind of preparing for his celebration. Other notable things you guys know. Notable things you guys know. There you go. Things to take note of that are notable.
Noteworthy things?
Yes, are the last night the guiding star Lilius appeared above everybody. That wasn't just for the people inside the city. It was a star that is thought to be prophetic. Appeared seemingly out of nowhere overhead. Shine for about 3 hours before finally disappearing. The stars don't follow any sort of pattern. They come and go randomly. And later throughout history, historians have aligned their appearances with major historical events happening around the world. So generally most people tend to lead towards the thought that something significant happened, we just don't know what. That's something you guys can choose to investigate. That said, you are all foreign to the capital. You could try and get to know the area a little bit, or make some contacts in it. You guys could also try and find some place to stay, as Arabella and Eve
I just made my contacts.
Yeah, true. Arabella and Eve have been staying at a brothel, so...
For the players, just real quick, there's a picture in general chat of my character.
Okay.
If you wanted to look.
Mine as well. Well, at least the face of him.
Brandon, I remember that I looked at that name. It's Alican or Gavin Doran.
Hey, look at you remembering stuff.
No, I take the best notes of anybody ever.
Sitting there with a pen and paper the whole session.
I bet your notes are longer than mine.
Probably.
I have a clipboard right next to my desk with just note cards attached to it with all the little information on it. But yes,
Google
those one is an alias and the other is his name.
Yes, and so that's who we were going after.
Okay.
Arabella is actually going to turn to Carter. Is he still standing there?
Yes, I believe so.
And
I
ask if
thought
he-
we left off with the people that left or whatever the fuss was.
Oh, they had no more dealing with you. Your
Oh, okay.
your mission was to find Arabella. Mostly, her steward sent you guys. And as you spoke to him, he was pretty concerned with her safety, leading back to his safety along the lines of, "Oh my God, if she dies, I die." And it's like, "Oh wait, you."
Alright.
Yeah, you take these contracts, go. There you go.
But Arabella is going to turn back to Carter and just say, Adrian made it sound like Amphitheater sent you with her. Is this true?
Ampa who?
Arabella is going to describe Amphitheater to him. He's our steward who lives at our estate.
Oh, the contractor. Yes, we were contracted to find him.
To find me.
Yeah, I said you. Yes.
Why were you sent to find me?
Make sure you're alive. I
Okay,
guess.
well, I'm about to go do something really dangerous, so you should probably follow along.
They look like they like to hit stuff in the face. Could be
Hogan
useful.
inspection.
What did he say?
I heard
Me or
Hogan especially.
Oh, yes.
What?
Hitting things in the face, Hogan. We're gonna go hit things in the face.
So Arabella,
Why would we go and do that? It cuts some drinking time.
well, they're bad people setting things and people on fire.
Why would you go do a thing like that?
I don't know. We're gonna go stop them.
That's just random, that is.
fire destroys alcohol, by the way.
You what?
Fire.
Yeah, but-
They're setting fires. What if the fire spread to the brewery and then all the alcohol burned up?
Well, that's alright. It's the people I'm afraid of. Why would you just go setting people on fire? It's just don't make no sense.
All right.
That's what we're gonna go find out.
Allow me to also describe where you guys are at. So once again, Somia's Bridge is a pretty well-traveled part of the town, as you have to pass through it to get to certain sections of town. As such, at this corner, one of the reasons why Liz is able to have such good information about everybody, and Liz is the orphan matron, is
She's
because
ugly.
yeah, she's hideous. But it's because of how many people pass through here. In the street square, though, there is going to be a small crowd, and this is in the middle of winter, by the way. There is going to be a small crowd gathered around a few individuals on soapboxes. They have a large wooden cross, and they're burning an effigy on it. And as you guys are talking about the Heart of Embers, you just kind of hear this fervent preaching coming from this crowd. They've been there. You guys just haven't been paying attention to them. But just, as the conversation falls on fire, they're a little bit more noticeable now.
So, since it's been a while, excuse me. Since it's been a while, remind me what that the name of that church is. Heart of Ember. No, the actual deity they worship.
Yes, there are multiple parts of the Chantry of Discipline. They all worship a living god named Soyessa. She is the fourth ascended of fire. Her alignment is lawful evil. In that,
okay.
yes, her main goal in the world is to is the merciless slaughter of all the Terrai. She doesn't believe they should exist at all. She teaches her followers to be a pure, controlled, and concentrated flame, pointed at the enemies. The Heart of Embers is a relatively new sect of her religion, and they're kind of getting out of control. One of the main things about the religion of the Four Ascended is that the four gods work together, or rather the four chantries work together, and the Heart of Embers put Soyessa on a pedestal above the other Four Ascended. They attack other members of the religion, particularly the ones that don't follow their path.
Right.
And they are the worst type of zealots. They're the frat boys that are like, my sports team's better than your sports team.
I mean,
one
of those things is not like the other, but I get what you're saying.
So what you're saying is like the crowd is getting kind of like upset at the talk that we're doing?
No, they're not getting upset. Just as he's been preaching, emotions have been rising.
Okay.
What are the? So what are they saying exactly? I mean, I know in essence, but what's the guy like specifically talking about at this particular moment?
Yeah, no, I would like to know that as well.
The guy started off talking about the upcoming holiday, and now tuning in, you hear him saying, "The wake of Earth, Vael'Rir saved a Lil Nagai, which in my books isn't Ardor Sarai. He's not Soyessa. He's not that great. Why are we celebrating this, and why is the holiday not devoted to the Mistress of Fire? That's what I want to know. What has the Lil Nagai done for Ardor Sarai?"
This guy's hit my patience in mid-sentence of him talking. I want to use prestidigitation to just put the worst fart smell in his face. Just the worst.
He is about 60, 65 feet away from you.
Yeah, the prestidigitation has a range. Oh,
I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm just
it's only 10 feet. All right, never mind. I can't do that. Damn it.
Yeah, like this is, he's not in your face shouting.
Yeah.
The circle around where this bridge connects to this district is pretty large. It is, once again, it's well traveled.
So I just kind of look at the others and I'm like, can we go talk somewhere else? I really don't want to listen to this.
One of them Soyessa types, so they're always saying silly things. Oh.
Yep.
It's being kind of loud. It's a public area. But, oh no, I'm thirsty.
Ah, crap. I forget your character's name. Not Eve, the other one.
Arabella?
Yeah, so I would look back to Arabella and I'd be like, so your thing, do we want to go do that now?
And I'm gonna have to. What's Zymor's passive perception?
Who's pickpocketing me? I'm gonna fucking die. Light. The 8th level. Passive perception is 10.
Oof. Woo. All right. Let me scroll through the rest of the party now. I just need to.
Fucking sneaky little bastards.
Oh, look at Hogan.
What?
You ain't doing too bad. All right. So, as this conversation's happening, and you guys take note of the zealots across the street, and the rising emotions of the crowd, and then everybody gets a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, hey, and you turn to Arabella and say, hey, can we go someplace else? Carter would distinctly notice that Arabella has a holy symbol of Soyesa on her armor, or would she be wearing it as a necklace?
As a necklace.
Oh wow, I just totally foobarred that conversation then.
Well, you wouldn't really notice. It's like a small thing on her chest. With a 10 passive perception, you're just looking, to make sure like no one's swinging a sword at you.
Yeah, no, it's just funny though. I didn't know that. Still don't.
No.
Yeah.
Where's there's mustache?
I feel like Hogan would kind of take note of it, but not really make it out with his intelligence. He sees it.
He's familiar with, or he should be familiar with, common or like basic religions and such. So it wouldn't be even if he was not very smart, he would know what a symbol of another major religion would be.
I'm going to allow him a religion check on it. DC 8. Just because the 4 have one symbol, and then each god symbol is a little bit different than the main symbol of the 4 Ascended. So they all use the basic template. Yes. Oof. Yeah, he knows she's a part of the 4 Ascended. But in his mind, the little inner part of the symbol is just fancy metal work.
Well.
Later on, if you ever want to try the check again, he might remember.
He's got to have reason to, but he's just like he's throwing for what it's worth, he's got a disapproving look on about what the guy's saying. He's like, not very nice, not very good, but
all right,
that's kind of all That's kind of all he can muster up at the moment.
So you guys want to go someplace and find out what Arabella's about to get into?
Yeah.
She doesn't make any comment about my remark at all. She just lets it go, and I am none the wiser.
I, as a player, missed your comment. So
the guy's preaching, and I turn to Arabella, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Can we go do your thing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Arabella will say, well, there are some people in our beliefs that are a little bit more zealot-like than others.
They give a bad name to the good crowd.
Jeez.
That's actually what we're going to look after. As a follower of Soyesa myself, I don't need this extra bad reputation on top of everything else that's going on.
Well, should we go?
Pat him on the back and say, "Way to go, hero."
Well, shall we go somewhere more private to discuss your plans?
It's hot out here.
Somewhere with some drink.
You can always come back to the brothel with us.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Don't have to twist my arm.
Eva's gonna roll her eyes. It's like, why did you make it sound like that would be a hard thing to get them to do? And please clarify, with us does not mean all the way with us.
I mean, I guess that really just depends now, doesn't it, Eve?
Eve, face palms.
Oh, I gotta check your guys' passive perception.
Mine is 17.
Yeah,
Jesus
I know what
Christ.
yours is. I have to look at. Yours is 10.
Uh-huh.
All right. So,
14.
as this conversation's happening, just two more final things to note of just learning a little bit about your party. Arabella's going to distinctly notice on Zymor and Carter, they're wearing ruby pendants, which would mark them as members of Merchants of the Ruby.
Like Lady Nightcart.
And
Yes.
furthermore, hanging slightly lower than that, you would notice that Zymor is wearing a amulet with a purple gemstone in the middle. Out of character, that's my arcane focus, but you know.
Okay. I was just going to ask
I'm
if it
wearing
had
an
any
axe.
significant meaning. You do notice Hogan's wearing an axe around his neck?
That's impressive.
My legs are bleeding.
Yeah. And who had the 17, you'd also notice that Zymor is carrying a shield, but there is no weapon strapped anywhere on his person either.
You're doing it wrong, mate.
And also,
Yeah, take this.
vice versa with Carter, he'd notice Zymor wearing the ruby pendant. But otherwise, yeah, so the brothel's where it's at?
Yep, that's where we're headed.
Okay.
That's where it always is, man.
Did you guys want to end it there, or do you want to go to 11 o'clock?
I'm
good
good
with
to go
ending
to
it there.
11.
Or 11's fine with me too.
It's already 11, so it doesn't matter for me.
Alright, and...
Well, actually, it's 11:30, but...
Yeah, it's 10:26 where I'm at right now. Alright, so, it is a little bit of a walk to, the Lucky Lass. It is a brothel, near the center of the city. It's in the Palace District, leading up to the entrance of the Inner Palace District. It is on the outskirts of the Palace District. The concourse that leads towards the palace, which is named Zenith Rise, on this concourse is a bunch of wealthy businesses, one of which is a brothel that specifically services the aristocrats of the town. It is named the Lucky Lass. Walking inside, the matron of the brothel would remember Arabella, and noticing her come back with friends, she would stand from one of the gambling tables that she's currently sitting at, walk over to the corner of the room and talk to two of her attendants, and they would clear out a table for her and her new accomplices. And Teik would just nod towards Arabella and gesture towards the now empty table.
I would like to interject that on the way there, Eve would pull aside the guy that was looking for her and
That would be
try
me.
to talk to him and get to know him a little better.
Okay, we can roleplay that right now.
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh, I didn't want to do that now. Sorry, go ahead.
Eve would pull him aside and be like, so, tell me how you got here.
Well, what was the town I came from again, Brandon? I forget. I gotta look it up.
Well, you did grow up in this orphanage. I don't remember what
Yeah.
you named the town.
Well, we said where I was staying. Well, whatever. I say that I came from that place. We'll look it up later. And that I had just heard the rumors, and as a seeker of knowledge and just a Lilborn and Zerai being things I've never encountered before, I just felt like I should expand my knowledge base, and if I made a couple new friends, so be it.
Eve shrugged and was like, that's not bad. I mean,
And as a former orphan, I have a small spot for orphans, so your deed stood out to me.
Eve will smile and say, finally, somebody understands what I was going to do. Kind of laughing and putting her hands behind her head.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of like walks very, I don't know how to describe it, like not gracefully, but like correctly. Does it make any sense? You know, like a lot of people hunch or they swagger. Like he walks like very correctly, but not like to like the posh noble, and just doesn't seem to make any other like movements besides just walking, keeping pace with her. He doesn't gesture with his hands when he talks. Just very composed, I guess is the word I'm looking for. like clearly he works at that for some reason or another. That he and he'd be like, well, so tell me a little bit more about yourself. Like, what do you like? Where do you come from? Why do you feel like? So, like, don't get me wrong, I approve, but why do you feel so the need to stick your neck out for people that have it as bad as some of us do?
Eve will kind of think for a second, and then she'll come back and say, because nobody deserves to feel that bad.
Kind of thinks for a moment, and he's like, I would amend that to the innocent don't deserve to feel that bad. But I get what you're saying. There are a lot of people in the world who deserve to feel pretty bad. Something I want to rectify.
Eve will kind of shrug and laugh a little bit and say, that was a little bit of exaggeration, but even then, there's other ways to do things sometimes.
I agree.
And then she'll say, part of the trick is just always trying to keep an open mind. And then she'll
interesting philosophy.
And then she'll shake her head and say, I'm still amazed that there was actually somebody out there looking for me. And that the story spread like that. Well,
I can't say for sure how far it spread, but it was enough for me to hear about it in passing, and I don't know. I don't like to let significant acts of good go unnoticed, because they're very rare nowadays.
Eve will kind of blush almost a little bit at this, and give probably... Not that her other thank yous were genuine, but this one just feels weren't genuine. But this one just feels more genuine. And again, she'll say, thank you. And ask if there's anything like, or no. She'll say thank you, and then she'll ask, if the real thing is as good as the story. There we go.
Sorry, if what was? I just got a message, so I missed that.
Oh, you're good. If the real thing was as good as the story.
Well, that remains to be seen, but so far it seems to be holding up. You're not the worst looking person I've ever seen, any winks.
Eve will laugh and say, yeah, no. And then she'll point to what the drunk guy, and she'll say, you had to look at him.
I try not to judge. And then, like, in your head, like, nobody else can hear this, he'd be like, I know, right?
People, like, laugh very loudly at that, especially, like, not expecting it. So just gotta look at him. Say, well, it's good to know you can do that. Is there anything else I should know?
Well, I have quite a few abilities at my disposal. You'll get to know them over time. Let's just say I'm apt to have a certain aptitude with magic.
Evil kind of cock her head to the side and say, oh, that's actually pretty cool. I know a little, but it could be a lot better.
Well, it'll be interesting getting to know each other then, won't it? I imagine by this time we're probably getting closer to our location, right?
Yeah, you guys would be able to see the brothel on the horizon.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing. Evil
I don't want to sit here and make them listen to us talk for like 3 hours.
Right. Evil point to it and be like, Oh, look, there it is. Home sweet home.
All right, home. Okay. Well,
It's home for.
yeah, I was about
It's
to
the only
say.
place in town that we know.
Yeah, so far Taic has been very nice to you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll you guys a couple checks.
I'm just gonna say, Arabella did buy 2 rooms and 2 people last night.
Oh yeah. And I still have those NPCs pulled up, so I had to go through and make sure and gather everybody. Alrighty. So yeah, of course the scene I described, Taic would get you guys a table to yourself. In the on the far side of the room. And once again, this is kind of a very hands-off, free-form place. There isn't anyone to specifically greet you at the door. Taic kind of goes between clients and making sure everything is going well in the main parlor. In the main parlor, there are lots of low tables to the ground, and many people sitting cross-legged Indian style, which I guess doesn't technically exist in this world because there are no Indians. Gambling at these tables. And one was just cleared for you guys.
Is
Arabella
there a
will
candle
sit
on
in
the
first-
table? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the first thing she's gonna do is pull out her playing cards and motion for everybody else to join her at the table.
I would do so. Is there a candle on the table?
There can be. Do you want to request one? There is not currently.
No, I won't request one. If there was one, I was gonna magically light it and be fancy and show offy, but there's not one. It's fine.
The room is lit by the daylight coming in. A large hearth burning on the opposite side of the room, and there are several torches around the walls just for warmth.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's pretty pleasant in here.
Eve will sit down and motion for her new friend to sit next to her.
And he would oblige. We're playing cards, huh? I feel like I should cheat.
You guys.
Let's play versus cards.
You guys are able to sit down at this table, and you're there for probably about 10-12 seconds before one of the lasses comes and joins you at the table. She's going to... Arabella's going to recognize her from last night. She is also the courtesan who gave Arabella the other name for Alakan.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to latch on to Carter and sit next to him and begin rubbing his chest and more specifically his pendant between her fingers and say, "Ooh, short man, but I like the clients with money."
At least you're honest.
Zymor discreetly tucks his under his shirt.
I have no money for you. He kind of tries to go slightly away from the person now latched to him. As he still sat down.
And I would like it to be noted, as everybody sits down, they become eye level with Carter.
As he's standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still stood.
Alright, so he's gonna try and pull away from her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's able to do so, and she's gonna kinda take the hint. And she'll she'll just be at the table for a little bit, exchanging her attention between those nearest to her. Not really contributing much, but, you know, just complimenting each member, making them feel welcome. Or at least attempting to do so.
I'm gonna follow Zemore's lead there. I'm gonna tuck my my pendant in my shirt. I don't got no money. I'm broke.
Otherwise, she contributes nothing really interesting to the conversation. Gossip about this noble doing that and that noble doing that.
Arabella will ask her if she... Well, no, because she asked her that last time. So
Yeah.
Arabella's just going to ask if she can have a moment of privacy with her companions.
She's going to lick her lips at Arabella as she says that, and say, "Darling, normally privacy is the last thing people come here for." And then she'll wink and walk away.
For some reason, this will oddly remind Eve of Lilfir.
Lilfir is a courtesan, so... Except she doesn't get to work at a fancy establishment.
True.
And
So
also,
Arabella-
I didn't tell you guys to go to a brothel. You did this to yourselves.
I'm not complaining.
Hey, Arabella likes brothels.
It's the guys that are acting awkward.
Nah, man, it's
With my
fine.
age.
I mean, the eye candy is one thing. Having some girl rubbing up against you is another thing. Especially with how many people come through here, you don't know what they got.
That is,
At
that's
my
a good
age, you're
point.
done fucking.
Oh yeah, how old does Carter look?
Well, I mean, his hair's starting to gray, and he's the hair in his beard's graying out too. He's wrinkled up as well, so he doesn't look like a young man anymore.
Okay.
So what you're saying is he needs a little blue potion.
Well, I mean, she
Probably.
would definitely see you and just think sugar daddy. So.
Probably, yeah.
Damn.
Otherwise, you guys have relative privacy. And you just would notice every few moments, Taek looks in your direction, just to make sure, you know, like, your table's not on fire or anything like that.
Okay.
Thanks, okay.
Is that a problem at this institution?
Well, this is a very nice place, so, you know, if you guys are breaking furniture and doing that, you'd get kicked out.
So when they sit down and they finally get time alone, explain what's going on with the people that's setting people on fire and what she knows and what Torque has told her. And
Okay, are you going to explain it, or you want me to summarize it for you?
yeah, go ahead and summarize it.
All right.
You'll do it faster than I will.
So, Arabella's gonna lay out what's been happening to them. They've been tracking another cult called the Cult of the Fifth Ascended, which has been making terror and doing all these awful things. And then just out of nowhere, like someone setting off a flame, this section of the of the Chantry of Disciplines just sprung up. These crazy zealots have been 2 times worse than this Cult of the Fifth Ascended. While the cult members have been very subtle, undergrounds, keeping, like, literally their hideouts are underground, keeping the shadows, trying not to be noticed. These zealots have been walking into other chantries, specifically the Chantry of Unity, and attacking it, throwing torches, trying to set clergy members on fire. They've been harassing foreigners, and they've been harassing foreigners in public, specifically Elil Nagilians, and offering them Soyes's purity, which Arabella doesn't go into detail about, but you're able to gather, oh yeah, that's setting someone on fire too. And these people are giving the religion a really bad name. Like, the religion's already merciless towards the Terrai, but towards, regular, normal people with souls intact, like, this is unheard of before. And so Arabella has been investigating the matter with another member of her chantry that she explains got mad with her and stormed off, as you guys saw at the start of the session. And they were able to find who has been bankrolling these zealots, allowing them to grow so quickly, but have yet to be able to track down where this noble is. And that name, she explains they intercepted a caravan in a town south of here called Somar Villa that was carrying supplies and literature for the zealots. And they found out the caravan came from a noble named Alakan. And while staying here at the Lucky Lass, they found out that Alakan was an alias for another noble living in town named Gavrin Dal Yan. And that was last session.
And so now we're just gonna search for this guy.
Yeah, well, that was like being described. Like Zymor's expression is just getting darker and darker, and he's like shaking his head, like when you're talking about the burning of people and burning down chantries and shit.
I think Carter would be like, "What?" It would legitimately say, "What the hell?" when he clergyman.
I told you some people were, overzealous.
Christ.
Yeah.
So we have the name of a noble person who's involved. Is that what we're getting basically from that?
Yes, you do.
And so we're going to go search for him. Or at least I would.
Yes. And if we find him, I have ways of discovering people's secrets.
Alright, and once again, too, as this conversation's happening, and you guys are kind of getting more grimmed face at the description of, like, the awful things going on with the Heart of Embers, Tayek's going to take notice and stand up and walk towards you. She's dressed in loose clothing and has long sleeves that, she keeps her hands tucked in. And she's going to come walking rather quickly and say, "Is everything okay? Do you need entertainment? I can send for one of the girls. Or males."
Dark business.
Not necessary for me.
A drink, maybe?
Drink!
And she's going to say, "Of course. On your tab, Miss Tolls?"
The first round is on me, yes.
She brings out one for everybody. Or rather, she has one of the lasses bring out one for everybody. The first thing that Hogan's going to notice, this isn't any Red Axe slime. This is aristocratic Alil Nagelian wine that's served here.
Ugh. It's mouthwash.
Wine?
That makes your breath smell pretty.
Makes your teeth weird looking.
My teeth are perfect, thank you.
So, Zymor wouldn't drink it right away. He would set it on the table in front of him, and he'd just kind of sit there, like, twirling his finger above it, and it would go between, like, being really ice cold and, like, frosting the glass, and then it would switch to boiling, and then back.
You'll ruin it that way,
Oh, yeah, of course.
I was about to say the same thing.
He's trying to get rid of the alcohol content before he drinks it.
If you're not gonna drink it, hand it over.
Eva will look at him and say, "Quit being a baby and just drink it."
Ooh.
I like to keep my head clear.
Arabella will pass her drink over to Hogan.
You
Yeah,
really
that one looks like he can drink for 3, and I slide mine over to him as well.
As you ruined it,
Chuck
you.
his back.
You just shake your head.
You would be the type to get all fuzzy-headed off of one drink.
So, Brandon, what time of the day is it?
It is before midday. It's about mid-morning.
Carter's gonna just chug his back. You see the drink kind of running off the sides of his, like the corners of his mouth. He doesn't care. What are manners?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to teach you two how to drink properly.
Arabella's gonna shake her head and say, I have other vices in life. Drinking, not so much.
That's an art form. You gotta do it properly.
And Eve will shrug and just say, I'm a bard.
And then
What's a
Zymar will look at him and go, well, then I'll leave the artistry to the professionals.
That's right.
Don't mind if I do.
At least this one knows how to respect his elders. Yeah.
I love this party dynamic. I'm sorry.
Carter's just gonna give Hogan kind of like a strange look as he's talking about elders, like, sure.
Look, I can't help if you're an old fart, alright?
I am not a fart.
Oh, hey, I have a. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check for Arabella. You can. It's just a flat wisdom check.
Just like the one I did earlier.
Yes. Eve can also get one too with what she's experienced.
Ha! That's a 20,
bro.
Brandon.
I am taking note, and I'm also waiting for Eve's result.
Both ends of the spectrum. I love it.
All right. So, as you guys are here in this tavern, and you're talking and you're trying to figure out ways to go about this, because this was the problem the party ran into the other day. They had the name and they had no idea where to start. Arabella's going to have the memory. There you go. Get them all out. Arabella's going to have the memory of that the Kalkin actually have an office here in Arter Sarai. In Arter, Makana did mention it to you. And Eve is going to, and these are just thoughts that pass through your guys' head, and you can feel free to disregard them or act on them. On a 3, Eve's going to just think like, hey, the Silver Sigil solved my problem before, why don't I just go get more indebted to them and ask them to solve it a second time?
Arabella's also going to think about the name that she got from the Nazaran from PAX.
Oh yeah, you did get that name too. And this is, a string of thoughts. Do you remember it, or do you need me to share it again?
It's in the RP. I have it. I'll have to go back and look. I close my notes.
Okay, I'm just going to save you the time. Her name is Nyvira Dardell. She is in charge of recruitment in Arter Sarai.
She's got some
recruitment
power.
for the fanatics.
No, for a different group.
Nazaram is a faction that's kind of like NATO. They are a multi-nation military faction devoted to fighting a specific faction of the Terrai that are trying to destroy most nations. The faction's called the Archblight, and Nazaram has taken it upon themselves to eliminate them. And so they'll set up emissaries in different nations for recruitment. And this is just common knowledge. There is one also in Red Axe. And generally, when you have nothing left to lose and nowhere else to go in the world, you join Nazaram.
Okay.
So, do we want to start with those leads next week?
You guys can discuss them. I was just, you guys didn't seem to have many options, so I was just suggesting some things.
Arabella would say that I actually know a high-ranking member of the Kalkin that we can talk to. She may know, since they're from this area, she may know someone of this name.
And
Calvin.
also, too, for the new players, because I forgot we didn't go over that. So all the factions are in the all the factions players have unveiled are on the wiki. Kalkin are basically they're detectives. They go out and hunt misusers of magic. They fight for truth, justice, and all of that.
That's what they say anyway.
Yes, that's what they say. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
My bad.
Like, what's a Calvin?
It's a group of people that I think you would.
A group of people called Calvin?
Kalkin.
Cow.
Who names their kid
Kalkin.
Kalkin?
Weird. This is strange.
I'll buy you another glass of wine if you join us on our venture.
Ounces of ale or coin,
Excuse
and
me.
we shall work.
Oh,
Well, I will at least.
it's probably gonna end up smashing more faces. It's usually how it ends.
Well, don't smash any faces in the lucky glass. I need this establishment to stay exactly how it is.
I'm a reasonable sort. I don't do stupid things most of the time. So,
You're
I
absolutely
know they
right,
could
you
work
sure
on.
don't.
Hey, could you work on this rose water though?
Rosewater.
What
Yeah,
was
it's
the
got-
name of the person you're looking for again? I forget.
It's got the punch of a newborn baby.
The name of the person we're looking for?
Yeah, it's
Gavin. I can't say the last name, Brandon.
Gavrin Dalyan.
Dalyan.
I guess I'll have to ask you that question later, Brandon.
Alrighty. So you guys want to head to the Kalkin's office in town?
Yeah. What is the lady? What is the lady? That lady.
What lady?
The one that's over the brothel.
Oh, Taek.
Take. Arabella would actually get up and walk over to her.
Alright, she's
And
currently sitting at a table watching one of her courtesans deal out a game of dice for some clients. As you come closer, she stands up and steps away from the table and nods towards you.
Arabella will just ask her, "Do you know which direction I can go in to find the office?"
When you say their name, she's gonna grimace and say, "The Kalkin are located in the city proper. Right as you enter the Forge Ring, their office isn't difficult to miss." And she's
Arabella.
gonna just put remove her hand from her sleeve and put it on your shoulder and say, "Be careful dealing with them, though."
Arabella will nod and say, "I have some experience with them from my past. I think they may have some information that I need, though."
She nods and says, "I'm sorry."
Arabella will just smile at her and say, It's no big deal. We'll figure out what I'm coming for, and I'll be back tonight.
And
So
she's,
expect me."
Before Arabella leaves, she's gonna say, "As long as you're a paying customer, you're welcome here. But do know the Kalkin are not."
Arabella will nod and just say, "I don't plan to bring them back."
She says, "Okay," and turns back to the table.
No Calvin's got it.
Yeah, not very well liked. If you ever meet their leader, you would know why. You guys are gonna head towards the office that you pointed out?
Arabella will walk back to the table and tell them where it's at and ask if that very question.
If you're going.
So, are you guys ready to go find this person involved with setting people on fire?
For sure. I mean, yeah, of course.
How late is it?
Well,
It's mid-morning, Allison.
Oh, shoot.
The perfect time for drinking.
Right.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Evil, say I'm following your lead.
So, we're gonna head towards the Calkins.
Alright, so we're going to handle this, and then we'll end for the night.
Okay.
You guys, head towards the Calkins office. It is in the city proper. Once again, there are 3 main districts of this, city. City proper, the Outer Spheres, and the Palace District. And then all the little subsections of town within those. Inside the city proper, there's a large area called the Forge Ring. Where most merchants go to set up shop, and a lot of metal crafters go to hone their trade. In here, there are a lot of official buildings. In this area, there are not many emissaries here, which is kind of weird that the Calkins office is here. But on one of the main thoroughfares, there is the Calkin office. It's not difficult to find. Once again, because the name for the Calkin is written in Elvish and in Common. So it kind of stands out among the rest of like the human-oriented businesses here. Walking to the door of the Calkin, you notice people on the streets giving this place kind of a wide berth. No one really pays it much attention. It's just kind of avoided. But walking up to the door here, it would be closed. The door. You guys want to try and open it?
Yes.
What are them fancy words there?
Evil have traumatic flashbacks of closed doors.
All right. Yeah, the door opens at your at just laying a hand on it. Walking inside the office, there are papers thrown everywhere in this office. And the floors of the wooden floors here are stained red. There is a the smell of rotting flesh is very evident the moment you guys step inside here. It is also dark. As this building is built between other buildings, there are only 2 windows that shine in here from the front, and it's providing dim light. It's hard to see through the rest of it.
Arabella cast light.
Okay. What you're going to notice is there is going to be one corpse with flies and maggots on it, pulled behind a desk. You can see the feet of the corpse hung out. And you're also going to notice a dried trail of blood leading back into the back recesses of the office.
Seeing this, Zymor is going to put his hand over his amulet, and as he pulls it away, a black rapier comes out, and he's now wielding a rapier.
All right.
Looks like a party went on over here.
I think that's a good place to stop for the night.
Before combat.
20 bucks says he doesn't have any combat prepared and needs the time to do it.
No, actually, this encounter is completely prepared. It's just if you guys trigger it or not. But yeah, we're not gonna sit here and do that till 12. Although I could go to 12 because this is prepared content. But I need to.
Everyone
Yeah,
okay with that,
I was gonna
or-
say I need to go to my stupid job in the morning. Hopefully, none of those people watch my YouTube as I just said that. Yeah.
ABS.
I mean,
The
hey, man,
boss
I
loves
gotta
it.
be at work. I gotta be at work at 6 in the morning. I'm good with it.
The boss logs into your XSplit and is like, "Wait a minute, I know that
Heard you
guy."
was talking. I heard you was
Heard you
talking
was
shit on
talking
D&D.
All right, I got your guys' next session scheduled for the 7th of August. Did we hit 2 sessions this month? We didn't play on the 10th.
No.
Wait, did we? I thought we did play on the 10th. We did play
No,
on the
we
10th.
didn't.
Played for a month, dude.
No, we didn't. We were supposed to play on the 10th, and then you canceled it like an hour before we started.
Okay. I am free Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. Oh, and I'm free this Saturday too. If you guys want to have a bonus session to make up for that, for missing that last session, whatever, is scheduled good with the party, I can make. Otherwise, we will be meeting on the 7th of next month.
I have to look at my calendar.
Okay.
I can make any of those. So just once you hear back from everyone else, let me know if it's a yay or nay.
Yeah.
Normally,
Brandon, are you talking like tomorrow, Tuesday, or next week, Tuesday?
Porque no los dos.
motherfucker English.
I'm free both Tuesdays.
Okay. Well, I'm good.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm good every day but the second.
Alrighty. So yeah, Allison, when you check your schedule, just post it to the group chat, and we'll get something scheduled if you guys want to do a bonus session. We don't have to, but I went on vacation earlier this month and missed like 3 D&D dates, so it was kind of awful. Like,
Oh no.
I know, right? Who wants to relax and have fun with their family when you could be playing, the greatest role-playing game of all time?
Right?
Exactly.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, so good start out to tonight. I'll do EXP on stream so we have it as a record.
12,000 per person.
12,000 per person.
I'm writing that down.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see you guys at the end of the campaign. You're all what, level 14 now? I don't know.
Not even close. 12,000 is like level 7.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm thinking a flat 1,000 just for the session, catching everybody up, and then I want to give just a good 500 EXP for just good role playing all the way around tonight.
I was about to say, like, I really enjoyed this session. Like, everybody seemed to get, like, the party dynamic meshed well, and like everybody seems to be getting along and having fun. Like it was fun. I liked it, even though like we didn't get to kill anything yet. But
no, that was probably...
doesn't get to happen every session.
I'm just gonna tell you that Group 3 has had one combat session. Period.
No, you guys have had more. Have you only had one?
Yes, Brandon. I take that back. We've had 2 because the skeletons on our very first session.
Yeah, I was about to say you had the skeletons.
And then I had my rooftop thing.
Yeah.
Well, those.
But that didn't really
I mean, no. This group 3 has had one proper.
Exactly.
Fight.
Have one real fight with Tyrant Robert.
Yeah, and boy, was that a good fight too. Eve dropped in it.
Always.
Yeah, and Zai had 1 health left.
I did what?
Other Zai.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a character Zai before.
Ooh, bad memories.
I know the way she said that with such contempt. She's like, we had a character named Zai before.
That's Arabella's brother, and there's a lot of heat between them now.
I will be controlling Zai for now on, so if you guys see him, you see him. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, most of the time I do have an encounter rolled up. I didn't really have a chance to give Group 3 an encounter, because before they got to the capital, they were basically staying in the Hollywood of the nation. There's a town called Somar Villa right south of here, and it is like all the common folk and the working class stay in the capital, and the higher nobility commute between Somar Villa and the capital as needed. And they just finally left Somar Villa and, headed towards the capital. But there
was stuff going on.
Yeah, and it was good stuff.
Have been the MVP of the entire first arc.
I just want to throw this out there. I feel like Eve should get at least inspiration for following up on the fact that this random dude was looking for her.
Yeah,
like, I could have left that super awkward, but she actually followed up on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you know what? I don't normally do this. Normally, I'll limit myself to giving out like 2 inspirations a night. I'm gonna give everybody inspiration tonight, just from real
bonus 50 XP, Brandon.
Yes, just real solid role playing all the way around. From the moment Wesley started voicing his character, I was like, I like where this group is going.
I feel like Carter and Hogan are actually going to get along so well.
I can't.
And we already had inspiration.
It does not stack.
But you do get the extra XP.
Yeah.
Wait, you get extra XP for inspiration?
How I award inspiration is if I give you inspiration, you're doing something right, and I give you 50 bonus EXP for getting inspiration that session.
Oh.
Just to,
like 200 XP then.
I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you not squat diddly. Actually, I probably think No? Did you get your magic item? You have a magic item. I bet you don't have it written down on your list, because I sent that to the group chat.
We didn't get no magic items.
Eve does. She has
Only Eve does.
She has a ring of jumping she found.
Ring of jumping.
Hey, Brandon, I do have that. Doesn't Eve still have that